What's going on, everybody? I'm Gregory Laporte from GamerFitnation.com. I'm here with Nick Shannon, producer for FIFA 15, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what's new about FIFA in this iteration.
So we've got lots of new things this year. I mean, some really big changes. The first thing that everyone will notice are the visuals. We've done a lot of work, completely reworked our player model to much more athletic and sort of lean. We've also brought in a new rendering system called physically based rendering, which is something we've been working on for a couple of years, and it makes the game look incredibly different, much more realistic. We created a level of quality and visuals we've just never been able to do before. But lots of little things. We're now tracking all the footprints of players, so we actually see footprints on the pitch. We'll see slide marks as they do slide tackles. We'll make the kits get dirty now. So lots and lots of little details, but a huge leap in visual quality. We're tracking the emotional state of all 22 players on the pitch. We really want to capture the emotion of what is, for me, the most emotive sport around. Players, you watch a football game, you've got home and away fans, it's incredibly intense. And we wanted to make sure we were capturing that within our game as well. So players will now react differently to a goal scored in the last minute than a goal scored at the beginning. They'll start to react differently if they've been tackled like heavily and 2 or 3 times in a game, they'll react differently to that. We've also completely reworked our AI system, so the AI, instead of making decisions on a frame-by-frame basis, now making decisions on short, medium and long-term objectives. What that means is it's more like me and you playing, so it feels like the AI is much more human. So in situations where we're playing and I'm a goal behind, I'm going to be much more aggressive, more direct with how I play. Now the AI will do that to you. Again, it feels like much more human. So lots of different behaviours there, a lot more variety in how they're playing against you. And then finally was working on a sort of player control, making the game feel incredibly responsive. We brought in what we call step-based locomotion last year, which is a big change to the look and the feel of our game. But some of the feedback was at times felt a little bit unresponsive, so we worked a lot more on tighter turns and how players can move. But responsiveness isn't just about the movement, it's across the game. So we've worked around all the ball physics on the ground, so as players touch the ball, again, it's more realistic, and what that's actually doing is creating a lot more fluidity in passing as well. And then finally, around tackling. So the ball previously in our game would come quite loose when you tackled. Now it's closer, it's more realistic. You go in a standing tackle, you're more likely to win back the ball. So lots and lots of changes this year.
All right, now in terms of the online play in the game, how has the online play kind of improved upon the last year?
So unfortunately today we're just talking about gameplay, we're just talking about the visuals, but we'll have a lot more to talk about things that we're doing and innovating in online later on in the year.
Now, as far as teams and everything, how has anything changed with the teams in the game or anything?
Again, unfortunately, I'm sorry. We just talk about gameplay and visuals here. If we're doing anything with new teams or whatever, we'll always mention that later on, just before launch. Yeah.
So in terms of gameplay, what kind of brought about the idea of incorporating the emotion of the players into the game?
So I mean, the big thing really for us was, again, I feel that, and we as a team feel that the game is so emotive, that passion of the fans, the passion of the players on the pitch, and it was something we hadn't quite captured fully within the game. We didn't have the cycles on Gen 4 now to actually capture all 22 players. What are they doing? Do they have now they can now have memory, they remember what's happening within the game. They also know what's happening in the context of the goal. Is this a big goal? So it means that they can act differently, and it means like when I'm playing the team, it feels like I'm more watching on TV. You make that emotional connection to your team when you're playing. You're watching what the players are doing. You'll now see that within our game as well.
All right, Nick, thanks a lot. FIFA 15 is releasing when?
Later on in the fall.
Later in the fall, all you FIFA fans are going to want to check it out. And be sure to stay tuned to GamerFitNation.com for your latest in gaming health here at E3. Peace.